Hey guys, James here. Fucking Among Us versus Fall Guys. I don't know what to really do regarding this prediction video. Because, normally, unlike most people, I tend to try to predict things I could see happening in the fight, or things that could look cool, instead of just going like, oh, who wins, or who do I think will win? Because I just find it more interesting to talk about potential ideas in the fight. What the fuck do I do with this? Okay, I guess for starters, I don't think this is a good matchup, and I don't think people are going to get on my case for saying that I don't think Among Us versus Fall Guys is a good matchup. I don't think it's a good matchup. Connections are literally just their fucking beans from games that got popular in 2020. That is quite literally it. And I know there are people who are fans of this. I'm not gonna, like, diss you on anything, but I think this one you can kind of see how, like, okay, yeah, someone might not be a fan of this because, Jesus Christ. Now, this used to be in my, top 10 least favorite matchups. I've said this before. It's not anymore. I think it's more so just, it kind of became one of those matches where, like, I don't like it, but I'm not really opposed to it happening, mainly because I've already accepted it's gonna happen. And I have preferences for both, with the Sing for the Imposter and Gang Beast for Fall Guys, but like neither one's were really matchups I'm like, I really want this to happen or anything like that. So, yeah. But it's we kind of expected this was gonna happen. I think, like, they definitely showed immense interest, and there was no shot it was not going to happen in Season 11. And I didn't include it in my Season 11 prediction because I wanted just to limit myself to only using one 2D loser for the Champions ballot, and I just figured Captain America vs. Kamen Rider Ichigo, that feels really fucking likely. I'd rather kind of talk about that than Among Guys. And, like, there was a tease in the original Season 11 trailer, where it showed, like, a pig NFT, because, in Latin, pig is, like, Among Us, or some shit like that. I don't remember. But yeah, it was mainly, like, this is definitely gonna fucking happen, and we can't stop it. I think I would have been more annoyed if this happened through the ballot. Like, if this won the ballot. Just because, like, it would have felt unfair. That matchup got the most push from the team themselves, via having a community death battle happening the same day that the ballot lineup was announced, as well as having a fan-made sneak peek made by Larry Winwood. I think that's his name, right? I was known by Larry. But a fan-made sneak peek made by him that was shown in a fireside chat, and then shown in a Death Battle cast when people were expecting the Gogeta versus Vegito sneak peek, which we never ended up getting. So it did feel like it was getting kind of an unfair push compared to the other matchups. And you might say, like, oh, Cap versus Ichigo had a cast a few months back. Was that really going to be pushing it much? Oh yes, a cast that happened like fucking 5 weeks ago. Yeah, that's gonna save Cap Ichigo. So you can kind of see, like, I'm hoping fans of this matchup can see why, like, I kind of feel like, oh, if this won, we got this episode through it winning the ballot, it kind of would have felt like we were cheated. Especially since the other 5 2D matchups are fucking way better than Among Us. So I'm hoping I'm not going to get told to go fuck myself for saying that. I think this is far more... Most people will be far more agreeable with that take. So, I don't care that it's happening. I'm just glad it didn't happen via winning the ballot. So, and then... Again, the matchup, I don't really think it's a good matchup. But I'm kind of feeling like it might be in something like Goro vs. Machamp in a way where... The matchup, it's not good, but the episode will most likely just be a fun time. I always view this as a joke matchup, and I know people say, oh, it's not a joke matchup. It's a fucking joke matchup. And I know the common reason for saying that is because people take it seriously. People take fucking Sora versus LeBron James seriously. People take fucking Squidward versus Bakugo seriously. Those are joke matchups. You are not going to look me dead in the eyes and tell me these are serious matchups because there are people that take it seriously. They're joke matchups. This is another fucking joke matchup. And the run and like the sneak peek we got for the Among Us preview definitely feels like, okay, yeah, they're playing into like the whole joke of this actually fucking happening and them talking about Among Us and Fall Guys seriously in a serious versus context. Like, they're playing into that joke. It really feels like they're playing into that joke. And, like, I'd rather them play into, like, the joke of this whole thing than, like, treat it seriously. And I'm glad... It feels like that's where they're going with it. And I'd rather take that. Which also, how the fuck are we... How is the fight gonna play out? From the snippet we saw in the Next Time trailer, it looks like, the Fall Guys and the crewmates are on the ship. What the name is? I have like some tabs open. The main ship, the one everyone knows from Among Us. Seems like that's where the fight's taking place. But there's a bunch of Fall Guys and a bunch of the crewmates. So how is the fight gonna play out here? Is it gonna be like a army, kind of, not really army, but it's gonna be like a whole group fight? Is it gonna be like the crewmate is fighting both the Fall Guys and also the imposter? I don't know if it's been like confirmed how this is playing out, but how the fuck is this playing out? I think for the sake of kind of simplifying it for my prediction on like how I could see the fight going, I'm just gonna assume we are having the imposter with crewmate abilities, which are not a lot, fighting a Fall Guy. That's what I'm assuming this fight's gonna play out. Because I don't fucking know how the hell are you gonna have this work. So, and I'm assuming the setup is gonna be like an emergency meeting called up, and there's gonna be suspects. Assuming the Fall Guy did it, and then the imposter shows itself as like a shapeshifter or whatever the hell, and the fight starts there as everyone like fucking scatters and runs, and it's a fight between the pink Fall Guy, because that's kind of like the most recognizable one, and a red imposter, because again that's like the most recognizable one. I'm assuming that's how the fight will go, and I'm assuming a lot, like, it's gonna be silly. That's kind of what I'm just hoping for. The fight will just be very silly. You have fucking, the Fall Guy doing, like, a bunch of slapping, hugging, launching, FNAF launch sound effect. The Foxy launch, you know what I mean? Like, is there a technical... Jump and dive. There we go. How could I not remember the word dive? I'm assuming a lot of that from the Fall Guy and from, like, the imposter, using, like, the knife, the gun... You know, like, stab the Fall Guy, but the knife just kind of, like, just doesn't really do shit. It just kind of, like, tickles the Fall Guy. That'd be funny. I'm stealing that idea from Larry's animation. Speaking of Larry, I was gonna say, I hope that they do get him on here, like how they got Origin to do Star Steven, or Steven Star. And it's already been confirmed that Larry's on this, so hell yeah. He is kind of why this matchup did get popular in the first place, so yeah. But definitely like some slapsticky type shit, just goofy shenanigans. Apparently the Fall Guy has some sort of tablet that it lets him basically do a level create, so maybe you could have that, have him spawn in a bunch of random shit, and the imposter has to use like the fucking what's thing called again? I don't play Fall Guys or Among Us that much. I can't sabotage. I just remembered off the top of my head. Like sabotage, so turn that shit off, and you know you can have shit like the like tentacles, or you could have maybe a bit where the imposter disguises himself as a Fall Guy and gets to jump on the Fall Guy. Like some stuff like that. Make it Looney Tunes. Have it just be a fucking Looney Tunes sketch. The imposter fucking runs into a door and just goes flat like a pancake. That's like, I'm expecting just silly ass shit from this. I want this to just be a bunch of laughs. And like looking through shit with these two, they both apparently have long neck abilities. The Fall Guys has it via the Twitter posting, so you know, maybe a giraffe fucking fight. I'm just slapping heads, headbutting each other with long ass necks. I don't know, that'd be goofy. And apparently, like, the Fall Guy also has a bunch of shit through celebrations. Because, like, the TARDIS, Captain America's shield, Hulk Rampage, Mjolnir, Avatar abilities. That's not a lightsaber, that's like a glow stick or something like that. I don't know. Pac-Man, he has a lot of shit from celebration screens, or they have a lot of shit from that, so, you know, like, they pull in some of that stuff. I don't know, make it feel like the fight in Free Guy between Guy and Hulked Out Guy. Like some goofy shit like this. And like the fight can like go throughout the whole ship. And mainly what I'm hoping for to see in the fight is regarding the death. Because I'm kind of hoping for, you know, it's like a fight between, like a struggle between like the eject area, like the eject thing. And like they're struggling between the two, and then whoever wins can grab the switch, pull it down, hang on to it, and then like the other one ejects out in space. I think that could be a pretty fun death. And then like it says, Fall Guy was not the imposter, one imposter remains if the Fall Guy gets launched out there. Or Red was the imposter, 0 imposters remain. I think that could be a pretty cool little reference to the Among Us eject. Or going back to the whole neck stretching idea, if the Fall Guy does win and gets ejected, you can kind of have like the fucker stretch his neck out and just go right through the ship and suck it everyone out, take everyone down with him, and then the imposter dies out in space. I don't know, that could be funny. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping the death will be, just an eject. Because it would be creative, it would be fun, it would be silly. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Again, I just want this to be shits and giggles, the episode. And then, like, regarding the debate, I don't know what the hell they're going to include for these two. Obviously, like, the stuff that happens in the games and supplementary material, like the Among Us manga, that shit's going to be included, obviously. It's the other stuff where I'm like, what the hell, how are we going to tackle this? Because there are the crossover trailers, there are the crossover costumes, and are we going to argue scaling them through that? Like the Omni-Man costume for the Fall Guys, are we going to argue with that? Does he scale to Omni-Man? Also the Twitter posts. And for this part, I kind of just, I'm separating it between like 4 different categories here to, you know, trying to make it simple, and did a little bit of research and looked at some calcs some people made. But for, and I have all this shit on my phone here. But for game stuff, there is crewmates survive a ship exploding in the release trailer for the Fungal, and like I know, like, it might be argued that they were inside the what is it called? The fucking, the dropship when that happened, but the dropship doesn't have a door, so they most likely got hit with the explosion, and they did survive it, so we're just gonna argue scaling. And, don't worry, it will not matter anyway soon. But that whole explosion got cut to, 984.813 tons of TNT, so multi-city block. And there's also a crewmate throwing a frisbee over the horizon, got Mach 90. I'm not really going to talk about speed much here, and you will see why. And then for Fall Guys, there is a celebration where a black hole is just created, and they're sucked in, and they survive it because they're back for the next game. And this is, since this is a celebration scene, you can get this multiple times, so it's consistent. So with game stuff, Fall Guys fucking way tougher, and the imposter cannot really damage them in the first place. But what about crossover stuffs, and regarding like fully scaling them to the characters they appear in? or just scaling to what happens in their trailers. Let's look at trailer stuff first, because that's simpler. Oh yeah, there's dodging lasers, which got for Fall Guys, which is just a game thing, and got like 10% speed of light. But crossover stuff, there's the Vampires Survivor crossover, where a crewmate fires a laser and it fucking cleaves through a shit ton of planets and they all explode. And this got count to, what was it? 20.46 quittitons, which is small star. And then for Fall Guys, they're in the Fortnite, what is that called? Fortnite 0. Big Bang, which is a big bang. And they survived it. Fucking Fortnite scaling, we're talking... What the fuck? I'm talking about Among Us and Fortnite scaling in this shit. What the hell is happening? But yeah, and this is also a trailer saying the Fall Guys are seen in it, so they would scale and survive the Big Bang. Wait, a universal event! Way stronger than Small Star. But what about scaling them to shit within the games? There's Ratchet and Clank costumes for the Among Us, the crewmates. And let's just argue they scale to that, and I've heard apparently Ratchet and Clank is like solar system. I don't know how or why, but we'll use that. And then, this is not as good as another thing coming up, but I want to mention it. There's the Hatsune Miku Fall Guys costume, and I researched Hatsune Miku like a year or so ago. And regarding stats for her, she can grow as large as a solar system or galaxy? Oh, galaxy! Largest galaxy. And there's a song where the lines, where she'll say she'll leap over Denebola in a precision. Denebola is a real star in, like, I think the Leo constellation, and a fucking precision is like 70-something years, 78. I calc this, and it was 98 million C. I calc this for Danny Sexbang versus Hatsune Miku, because it always loops back to Danny versus Miku, baby! Yeah, that alone is already, like, trumping the, the Ratchet and Clank solar system shit. But there's also, like I mentioned, the Thor and Hulk costumes, which, yeah... We know how strong Hulk and Thor and the Marvel Heralds are. There's also another thing with them appearing in Bomberman R, or Bomberman R2. Was it R2? Did I put that down? I don't know. I don't think I put this. Oh, there it is. Bomberman R2 appearing in that, and scaling the Bomberman. There's a defeated Angel of Light and Shadow who created the universe and could survive destruction. More universal shit. So. Way above that. So, fucking Christ. But what about Twitter posts? I don't know if I talked about that, actually. Shit, did I talk about that? I don't know if I mentioned that, but Twitter posts. Because, yeah, are they going to be like Macho Man Kool-Aid Man, where with Kool-Aid Man they looked at a shit ton of Twitter posts. And so, let's argue that. Where Among Us, there's a thing of them turning into a constellation or some shit like that. So I think that'd be like solar system? I don't know. But I mentioned this earlier, Fall Guys Twitter having the Fall Guys fucking neck stretching out. It ended up stretching out of our known universe and broke the universe. And stretched out like twice out of the whole universe. Did I write down, like, specifics here? Yeah, grew out of the universe and destroyed it. So, regardless, whatever of these sections you do, however you scale them, it just seems like the Fall Guys are always way, way fucking tougher than the Among Us fuckers. So, I am rooting for the crewmate / imposter, because I've played a little Fall Guys. It's fine. So I played like I think I want to say 5 hours, but I'm pretty sure it's more. I want to say like 20 or so hours of Among Us was friends and random fuckers online. And it's a fun game. It's like one I kind of only play in like small bursts with friends every now and then, so I'm not super up to date with a lot of the updates regarding the game. But I do like playing Among Us more than Fall Guys. So I am rooting for the Among Us crew, but I am betting on the Fall Guys. They just seem to they're way too fucking tough. And like I didn't talk about speed. I don't think that's really going to matter here, nor like any Arsenal shit they have, because as far as I'm aware, the imposter and crewmates don't really have any Dura negging shit. I know like there's the Phantom stuff, which they could, what is that, just like, vanishing and appearing. I know there's ghost stuff, but I don't really know if that's really going to do much of anything. So, and I wouldn't, also, yeah, Pac-Man, so just eat the ghost. Power pellet for fucking Fall Guys. Yeah. So just eat the ghost with the Pac-Man powers, god damn it. But yeah, it just seems like the Fall Guys are way too tough for the imposter, so I'm rooting Among Us. I'm betting on the Fall Guys. And now that we are done with 2024, it seems like the next one will either be late January or early February. From the sounds of it. It does seem like next year specifically, we're going to have one episode each month at least, so about 12 episodes next year. And I'm excited to see what's next after this. We don't really have any solid ideas on what could be next. I know we have a whole bunch of the Kickstarter matchups confirmed, but I don't think we're going to get one of those next. At least I'm hoping not. No, regarding what Kickstarter matchup I think might be next, I feel like it's most likely going to be either Kratos versus Asura or Mahito versus Shigaraki. And like Tom Wily or Wily Tom, I feel like that might be like middle of next year or so, because if I remember correctly, they said that when RT closed down, they didn't even get started on that one because they wanted to make sure they did really good, or did like a really damn good job on that one, or something along those lines. And I don't know how long it takes to make an episode. I mean, like the script for Goku Black's first Flash, that was apparently made in the afternoon. I don't know if it was a whole episode just a fight, but yeah. I don't know how long it takes to work on these episodes. I can't say. I'm not an animator. I'm not on the team. But I feel like that will most likely be about halfway in the next year at the latest. I don't know. I was right on my assumption with Bill vs. Discord and Cole vs. Alex being at the halfway point of Season 10. More so likely at the earliest, Episode 9 of that year, and Bill vs. Discord was Episode 9, so yeah, I was right on that front. So, that's a phone call from something I don't know. But that's more so what I'm expecting regarding this episode, or that when that episode's going to come out. And the reason why I'm guessing the next episode we get, that's one of the confirmed matchups, is either Kratos vs. Asura or Mahito vs. Shigaraki. Kratos vs. Asura, we have an animation sneak peek regarding that one, so it does seem like it's in a good chunk. It's like pretty good in development, or a good chunk of it is in development, and might already be done. So likely it will be the next match, like one of the first matchups we get that we already know about. It's likely not going to be in order of what they announced. So, yeah. And the reason why I'm assuming Mahito vs. Shigaraki is because Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga, is now over. My Hero Academia, the manga, is now over. So, that most likely will be a sooner rather than later type deal. Because, yeah, their series are over. Might as well get them while they're still kind of in their peak. And going by Gojo Makima and Deku Asta, it's clear they're not going to worry too much regarding spoiling manga stuff. Plus, Mahito, his story has been done for a while now, so yeah. That's kind of why I feel like one of those two will most likely be the next one. Though what I think might be the next episode we get, that I'm not too sure. I kind of want to guess Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo. I feel like that's just a pretty good bet to have regarding happening next year, since, yeah, it's a real popular matchup. It makes sense to do that one, and the team definitely does seem down for it. And then Luz versus Anne. Or Luz. Luz. I watched Owl House. Why am I forgetting how to say her name? Luz. I think it's Luz. Luz versus Anne. Lizanne. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Lizanne. Lizanne, most likely, it's just like, yeah, do this as soon as you can. We already kind of missed the point of this is the best time to do it. So just do the episode. Please, don't have it be like Steam vs. Star where I don't think that even breached 2 million views. Or like just barely breached 2 million when that released. It's like, we've already kind of missed the boat on doing that at its peak popularity. So, might as well get it done next. Also, I would love to see that matchup. It's in my top 10 most wanted, so god yes, I would love to see it. It's been 4 minutes of not even talk about Among Us, just what I'm expecting to see next. No, I am excited to see what's next. Hopefully it won't be as obvious, because after Ben's hint, this was an extremely obvious next time. So I'm excited to see what next. See what's next. And I'm hoping this episode will just be a lot of fun. Just dumbass fun, not taken seriously at all. And, yeah, that's kind of all I got. So, peace.